Okay, so today we're going to be talking about how it is that communism leads in, or excuse me, how it is that capitalism leads into communism. So, according to Marx, capitalism is like the first step of communism. So, it's like communism's already here when you have a capitalist society. And so, how he's going to substantiate that claim might be speculative and also might be subject to some criticism as well. And we can talk about it. You can send me an email about that if you'd like to. Okay, so capitalists will eventually, so this recall capitalist here is the guys and the gals that own the means of production, right? The people that own the various like factory machines and stuff, right? And they're the ones employing these the workers, right? So eventually they're gonna start getting running out of money, right? And so what do you need to do when you're a capitalist and you're running out of money? Well, you could certainly save a lot of money if you automate more jobs and if you hire fewer people, right? So if you cut down on wages, right, then you can make your company even more efficient. So what do? So the capitalist will fire a whole bunch of workers, just lay off people, right? If enough companies or enough capitalists do this, this will lead to lots of job scarcity. Okay, so given that you have high rates of unemployment, if fewer people are working and making money, then fewer people are going to be buying all the stuff that's being made, right? And this leads to further costs that need to be cut, right? And consequently, more jobs are going to be automated, and more jobs are going to be cut, right? So this leads to this cycle of gradual unemployment, laying off, unemployment, economic scarcity among the consumers, and leading to further economic scarcity among the companies, right? All of this sort of is cyclical. It'll keep happening and it'll keep happening until so few people are working, right? And so many people are unemployed that the proletariat will begin to get upset, right? The proletariat will get angry, and so eventually the proletariat, by way of revolution, will take the means of production from the capitalists, right? So so people will be upset that their jobs have been taken away. They'll be upset that they can't provide for their families, and sort of in an act of desperation, the workers will rise up, right, just like a revolution, and take the means of production. Okay, this is what this stage of killing capitalists and taking the means of production by way of the proletariat. This is the dictatorship of the proletariat, and this is a period in which the proletariat will rule the society, right? Okay, but that's not the end of the story, right? That's not where we end up. We will then move by means that the text is not all that clear about, into what Marx calls the communist society. This is this is what we transition from the dictatorship of the proletariat into a classless society, such that the people broadly own the means of production, right? And so uh, the way that the economic structure of this society is something like the following: from each according to his abilities, to each according to his needs, right? So in this society, it's something like, look, you work to the degree in which you are able, and you will receive um, um, economic benefits or gains or pay based on what your needs are, right? So if you have more children, you get more money, right? Because your needs are greater than someone who doesn't have any children and they're given less, right? And if you are like able-bodied, right, then you work longer. And if you aren't able-bodied, you work like a little bit, but like not too much, right? So, so the idea here is that in this classless society where there is no more tension between the different classes, there's no more class struggle, right? Everybody will be given what they need to survive, right? And everybody will put forth the effort according to their abilities, right? And this might mean, like, this might determine the kind of work in which you do as well. So, so that's the communist society, is ownership by the people and labor and benefits that are distributed according to each person, according to his abilities and according to his needs. And so Marx thinks that this will solve alienated labor because, well, why? Well, because we, as a populace, we all own the means of production, and in virtue of owning the means of production, we can kind of put ourselves into our labor and no longer like hate ourselves for doing our work, right? Okay, so this is like a very, very quick picture of what Marx thinks that the communist society will look like.